kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds, and when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
After an absolute amazing finish last week in the trucks, we return to the scene of the crime and Talladega Superspeedway for round number 11 of the iRacing East Superspeedway Series. Good evening, everybody. My name is Tony Trapasso, bringing you all the action here tonight from the house that Bill built. Pretty short field tonight as we're getting a little bit deeper into the season, and some people are not participating as actively as they could have been. Though we do have a couple returns to the league, as Mark McFadden and Zishan Dur are back with the series this week. And I'm counting 15 next-gen cars in the paddock area. So, relatively short field, but these guys know how to put on a great show. Bear with me, folks, as you get to see behind the curtain real quick. As we are going to bring tonight's point standings up. There we go. James Lowe leads the way right now with a couple of wins and quite a few points. Michael Anthony sitting in second. Chris Worrell continues the podium for Balls Out Racing. Joe Gautier in fourth. Austin Collins up to fifth. Big jump for Austin Collins, your biggest mover so far. Tim Henderson rolls out sixth. The seventh goes to Jason Papp, Brian Chu, Marcus Adams, Greg McConey. Rounding out your top 10, John LeBombard, after the last couple of finishes, dropped 7 spots down to 17th. So not the best start for the season for him. Marcus Adams, after missing a couple of weeks, drops down to 9th. So, again, 15 trucks here tonight. And that is not what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to do. There we go. Take a quick look at our weather conditions here tonight. 9-mile-an-hour winds out of the going northeast, which means they're going to be getting a crosswind going into 1 and going into 3. 80-degree ambient air temperature, 45% water grain in the air, partly cloudy skies, 108-degree track temperature. Means that with the in-sim time being a little after 3 in the afternoon, these guys are going to be making gobs of horsepower in these next-gen cars. And with as aero finicky as they can be, we're probably going to see some weird things happening. And that's kind of to be expected when you come to a place like Talladega. Just about 10 seconds left here in the practice session. Then we're going to click on over to qualifying. Let's get rid of that. And there goes practice. Checkered flag is out, and everybody clears the track. And we're going to bring up that little beauty for the timing and scoring. Who's going to be the first one to roll it? That is going to go to Shane Posey. There is the world's fastest hippie. Always coming out with some wild paint schemes. I'm kind of digging that one. With the chrome on the top. Sharp scheme. Very sharp scheme. Joe Gautier and Brian Tarnowski rounding out the Me Racing team. All three of those guys, the first 3 to roll them. Scott Warren sitting at the end of pit road to see if the weather conditions have changed. Relatively the same as what they finished practice with. Posey still not on his first green flag lap yet. Does have a good head of steam going, though. 177. Let's bring the dashboard up. 178, 179. As he takes the green for his first lap. Brian Tarnowski in the Racing for Stacy, number 28. Zishandura in the plain black wrapper there, Toyota. Joe Gautier back in the Amp Energy, number 67 tonight. There's Ryan Decker in the Oreos 3, familiar paint scheme for him, though it is on a Toyota now. Let's check back in with Shane Posey as he comes through 3 and 4. Did go purple in the first sector. Let's see what the second sector is going to bring him. And to the line for Posey, that's going to be provisional P1. 53.7 flat. Joe Gautier, 53.75. Let's see what Tarnowski's going to lay down here. Yes, he's got a good head of steam going. This should be good for top 3 so far. Third quick for Tarnowski. See Shandura bring it in into turn number 3, right down on that mustard line. Ryan Decker also rolling right now. Nick Wing starting to roll. Wing just taking the green now. We're going to stay with Dira. As through the tri-oval he comes. Past the Geico restart zone. Right back down to the yellow stripe. Z Shandura goes second quick. Let's check in with Ryan Decker as he comes off of turn number 4. Lets it run a little wide. Brings it right back down. Goes below the mustard line, which is legal in qualifying only. Across the stripe for Decker, fifth quick. Here is Nick Wing in the Coors Light Ford Mustang. Let's see what type of lap this is going to be for Wing. Sixth quick. Timmy Henderson out on track right now. There he is. To take the green. Scott Warren is just taking the green. Still waiting for quite a few drivers to try to lay times here tonight. Again, I only counted 15 haulers at the end of practice, so hopefully we get a couple more showing up before qualifying is over. But unfortunately, if you're not out on track right now, you're not posting a time. Ryan Worley back with the series. Rich Malagani also back with the series. Frank Marchese over in the race control booth. Thank you so much for doing that, Frank. It's a thankless job. I've done it before. Warren and Henderson going to cross almost simultaneously. Henderson goes up to 5th. Warren goes up to 4th, bumping Henderson down to 6th. Malagani, the only other one out on track, and he's not going to post a time as the clock has run out on qualifying. Just taking a look at tonight's starting grid. Shane Posey setting quick time with a 53.702. 34 thousandths to the good over Z Shandura, who joins him in row number 1. Row number 2 is going to go to Joe Gautier and Scott Morin. Brian Tarnowski and Timmy Henderson rolling in row number 3. Row 4 sees Ryan Decker and Nick Wing. Marcus Adams and Chris Worrell, 2 balls out contenders, going in row number 5. Mind you, from 9th of Marcus Adams on back, everybody's set up via their iRating. So Adams and Worrell, row 5. Row 6 is Connor Trufari and Ed DeBoer. Row 7, Mark McFadden and Brian Chu, Ryan Worley and Richard Malagani. In row 8, starting shotgun on the field all by his lonesome there in row number 9, is the 95 of John LaBombard. So 17 trucks, or 17 next-gen cars here tonight as we are starting to grid up. There we go. Just waiting for a few last-minute stragglers here. Jason Papp and Greg McConey both not making the call here tonight. Kind of strange to see both of them gone at the same time. But family issues is family issues. And we all know family comes first. Just to make sure everybody's clear on it, we will be taking next week off. Next Friday, we will not be racing due to Thanksgiving. Spend time with your family. Try to avoid the fist fights at the local Walmart. And enjoy the night. As Tim Henderson, the only one electing to pit start. Everybody else starting to roll it behind the official iRacing pace car. "75 laps of scheduled distance, 75% fuel fill, which means we're looking at least 2 stops to get it done here tonight. Unlimited tire sets, which is always a good thing. We will be returning in 2 weeks, December 2nd, for 80 laps around Talladega in the Xfinity cars. Justin Sumner, good to have you with us. Caitlin Groves, pulling for Ryan Decker as always. Miss Vicky, always a pleasure to have you with us. James Lowe taking the night off tonight. Sally Hammond, always a pleasure to have you with us, ma'am. So, one parade lap is all we're going to see so far. This field working its way through the 3-4 complex. Posey going to have the button as Geico restart zone is in effect tonight. So, initial start will be on the green once all the cars enter the Geico restart zone. Pace car makes that lazy left turn down below the mustard stripe. Hands the pace of the race over to Posey. He's got to maintain at least 64 to 65 mile an hour. And as he brings him into the Geico restart zone, the other thing is, let's say it's time to wipe the visor and it's the 5-point harness. Grandma, grab the boiled peanuts because it's time to get it on in Shooter Country.
Green flag.
Race fans, it's showtime! Posey and Dura still in lockstep at the front of this piece. Scott Warren looking to get up on the back bumper of Dura to push him to the front and go with him. Right now, everybody else getting pretty sorted out right now. Nothing major happening. Dura and Warren out in front on that second lane, as that's been the preferred line around this place in these next-gen cars, even in the real world. Dura drops down to try to throw the block. Oh my goodness, we're 3 wide. Dura was trying to throw the block on Posey. Warren now going to lead the lap. We got a second and a third lane going right now, as Posey's out about 2 car lengths in front of his teammate Joe Gautier on the low side. They got Brian Tarnowski down there with him. That's Dura, Worrell, and Chu in the middle lane. As Dura drops down, Warren drops down. He was trying to throw the block on that outside lane. It's Nick Wing rocking the 12 tonight. There it goes.
Flag is out.
Brian Chu catching a piece of that one as well. Let's go take a look at what happened here. There you see Warren in the middle. Dura getting pushed by Posey. Just gets turned. Bump draft gone wrong. Oy. Keep your eye on Chu and the MBNA 18 in the back of the middle pack. So Dura's going to get turned up into Warren. Warren bounces off the wall, gets into Chu. Chu gets run over by the 48 of McFadden. McFadden catches a race car to the face. As a matter of fact, we are going to go on board with Mark McFadden. This is what the Iceman saw. It's going to pop off now in front of him. And absolutely nowhere to go. Just blasts Chu in the left rear. Pretty good front end damage on McFadden's car. He's bringing it pit side. Going to have to burn that fast repair right now, unfortunately. Not a ton of damage on the front of McFadden's cars. We're looking back from Ed DeBoer's car. I mean, a little bit of a crinkle in that front splitter, but nothing major. McFadden may have gotten away with one there. As Posey decides to stay out. No, actually he didn't. He just drove down pit lane. Although why, I'm not quite sure. Okay. A lot of guys taking fuel only. Ryan Decker winning the battle off pit road. Only 4.5 seconds in his pit box. Nick Wing, fuel only. Connor Trafari, Brian Tarnowski, fuel only. Joe Gautier, 4 in fuel. Ryan Worley, 4 in fuel. John LeBombard and Ed DeBoer, 4 in fuel. A little bit of damage repair for McFadden and DeBoer. A lot of repair for Marcus Adams, Richard Meligani, and Chris Worrell. Not sure exactly what's going on there. DeBoer is bringing it back down pit road to pack that thing full of fuel. Lights should be going out on the pace car this time by. Again, thank you all so much for making this part of your Friday evening. And if you guys haven't done so already, it really does help the channel with the more thumbs up these videos get. And I noticed that also that half of you watching are not yet subscribed. You don't want to miss a single moment of action here on Sim Racing Media. We have racing 7 nights a week again. Some of those races are taking a little bit of a hiatus for the holiday season, but we also have some big things in the works. As a matter of fact, the Saturday night AI series is going to be making its return here in a couple of weeks, as we are working on the schedule and the driver layouts for that. So keep your eyes peeled. And we're doing, most of the time, this crew is doing between triple and quadruple headers with a couple quintuple headers thrown in there for good measure on some days. Yes, you heard me correct. Quintuple. 5 races in a day. Thank you so much for watching the iRacing Superspeedway series as we are getting ready to turn them back loose. Everybody getting double filed out. Decker and Wing sitting up on the front of this piece. Tarnowski and Trafari going to restart in row number 2. Pace car makes that lazy left turn. Decker has the button as he brings it into the tri-oval and then into the Geico restart zone. Decker waits on it to the last possible second, then rolls into it. Trafari was almost pushing him through the restart zone. Now Decker jumps up to immediately pick up his Dudes Racing teammate in the form of Nick Wing on that second lane, hanging Pounder Trafari out by his lonesome. Trafari goes up to try to side draft. It's Wing and Decker making it happen on that second lane. They're bringing Tarnowski and Worley with them. Tarnowski's going to get out of the way. Now it's a 3-car freight train with those Dudes Racing cars up on that second shelf. Comes the 48 of McFadden. Tarnowski in the 28 there as well, starting to fade with no help on the low side as Trafari finally drops down. And Trafari's bringing Marcus Adams with him. So that high line is where you want to be. You can keep the car really wound up there. As a matter of fact, let's bring the dashboard back. 188, 189, almost 190. There we go. Can we get 91? Yes, we can. Going into turn number 1 for your race leader, Ryan Decker. Trafari and Adams trying to make something happen on the low side right now. Trafari goes up, tries to that second lane, tries to get some side draft. That's going to lead us almost 4 wide. Holy Christmas. They are 4 wide for 5th. And Malagani in the 22 blinking heavily. That's got to be unnerving. Still a freight train going around this place. Decker still has the lead. He's got all the drafting help as everybody goes to the high side. Trafari and Gautier trying to make the lower 2 lanes work. Gautier has absolutely no help. Neither does Trafari. And all that's doing is helping that top line as Decker being the Pied Piper and all the children are following. Decker, Wing, Worley, McFadden, Chu, Worrell, Adams, Trafari, LaBombard, DeBoer. Your top 10 is everybody pretty single filed out right now. Everybody wants to get some green flag laps in as we just put 10 in the books. We got some good green flag action going on right now. We're going to step away, pay a couple bills, and we'll be back right after this.
What's up, guys? Roger Debo, front tire changer for the 45 Alpha Prime car. You're watching Sim Racing Media.
Hey, this is Steven Cherry.
What's up, guys? Roger Debo, front tire changer for the 45 Alpha Prime car. You're watching Sim Racing Media.
And we are back at Talladega, currently working lap 20 of 75. Shane Posey back up in front of this piece. Chris Worrell trying to lead the charge in that second lane. As the 31 of his teammate Marcus Adams right there with him, as well as Ryan Decker. The 12 of it's Nick Wing in the 12 tonight. Ryan Worley in the 00 up there as well. As, wow, Worrell and Adams shot out of a cannon. Worrell's going to go way down to the bottom side. As Adams goes to the top shelf. Good grief. That's putting a lot of trust in the drivers around you, but you like Superspeedway racing. We all like Superspeedway racing, and this is some of the best Superspeedway racing week in and week out that you are ever going to find in the iRacing servers. These guys have been at this for quite a while now, at least 4 years that I know of. They rotate the cars and alternate between Daytona and Talladega, both fleet tracks, and rotate between the ARCA car, the Xfinity car, the truck, and the next-gen car, with the 87s thrown in once a season. This year we had a special treat so far. We've already seen it once. We might see it again as the Indy cars put on a hell of a show here at Talladega. Shane Posey bailing out to go to the extreme top side. It's going to allow Joe Gautier to get that all-important bonus point for leading a lap. Connor Trafari glued to his back bumper right now. Good to see that Trafari hasn't missed a step, as he took the majority of last season off and half of his first part of this season. Gautier now jumps up to the top shelf to hands the lead of the race over to Trafari in that Lot 9 Brewing Company number 17. Ryan Decker glued to his back bumper. Ryan Worley there as well. And that's usually the tattletale that we're getting close to green flag pit stops. If everybody gets single filed out and down on the mustard stripe. And do you know the Muffin Man? We're blanket over your top 11 right now. As Trafari, Decker, Worley, Wing, Adams, Chu, McFadden, Gautier, Posey, Worrell, and DeBoer all right here. And then Ahmed DeBoer in the 24, there he is. You've got almost 7 seconds to get back to this second group, led by Brian Tarnowski, who has Tim Henderson in front of him. Henderson, a lap car, is starting to pit start here tonight. Only one retirement to speak of, and that's the 76, Scott Warren. Zishan Dura still on pit road trying to get the number 10 fix. Henderson, the only lap car so far, trying to pull these guys back up to that lead freight train. It's being led by that man, Connor Trafari. Out of Bluffton, South Carolina. Past champion here in the Circuit D Diecast Superspeedway Series. Now the iRacing East Superspeedway Series. And if you'd like to be a sponsor of the Superspeedway Series, just reach out to Jason Papp or Greg McConey or Frank Marchese on their Facebooks, and they can get you pointed in the right direction. Again, we're getting close to green flag pit stops with a 75% fuel fill. Somewhere around 25 to 30 laps is all you're going to get out of a tank of Go Fast here. Although most guys did come down back on lap 4 to top off with fuel. Lap 4 and 5. The biggest thing is not getting popped for speeding and making sure you have somebody going with you when you do decide to go pit side. Decker shoving the daylights out of Trafari right now. Peels up to get some clean air to the radiator of that Toyota. Caitlin, I do apologize for that. I didn't have the ticker going early on. We got it up there now. And Miss Vicky, I just read your comment there. Best of luck to Jason as he's making his Volusia Speedway start tonight in his real world super late model. Currently working lap 29 of 75. Trafari shows the way. Decker, Worley, Wing, Adams, Chu, Gautier, Posey, Worrell, and DeBoer, your top 10. McFadden is the caboose in this freight train. And then you're 8.5 seconds back to that second group being led by Brian Tarnowski. They've got a lap car mixed in with them. That's Tarnowski, Milagani, and LeBombard, along with the 91 of Tim Henderson. Again, those guys are 8.5 seconds to the trail. I would expect within the next 4 laps, we're going to see wholesale pit stops by the entirety of the field, being as about 30 laps is all you're going to expect to get out of a tank and go fast here tonight. So far, everybody's staying out. Of course, you also have to remember that everybody was last down pit road on lap 4 for the one and only caution we've seen here tonight. And that's something this league has really tightened up about doing. We have gone 5 of the last 7 weeks without a caution. Let me say it again. 5 out of 7 of the past weeks, no caution flag. So take a quick look at the weather conditions. Track has cooled off a handful of degrees. We're down to only 100-degree track temperature under partly cloudy skies, 79-degree ambient air temperature. Still have that 9-mile-an-hour wind that these guys are having to deal with. Here we go, pit side, wholesale pit stops. Oh no. Nick Wing just missed, and he might get popped for unsafe pit. Either way, that's not what he was hoping for. Let's go take a look back at what happened to Wing. Here he is. Just could not get it slowed down in time. Cracks the commitment cone, and now has to get it back up to speed and get that car back around on the pit stop. Here comes Trafari, Posey, Gautier, McFadden, as the Balls Garana team is going to stay out for one more lap. Saw James Lowe checking in the live chat. Good to have you with us, James. Wish we'd have you on track again, but you know how you feel about these next-gen cars. Connor Trafari should be your effective race lead. And race control's got to do something about Zishan Dura. The car's blinking worse than a fat kid with a lemon in his eye. Here comes Joe Gatti and Shane Posey. As they're going to flash by Connor Trafari. He should be able to get them picked up. Ryan Worley there as well. Marcus Adams winning the battle for that segment. Tries to go up and out of the way. Unfortunately, another group was coming like a freight train. Adams going to get hooked up with Ed DeBoer and Brian Chu. Chris Worrell right there as well. But right now, it's Gautier, Posey, and Worley working very well with each other. Connor Trafari trying to latch onto the draft from those three. Not having the best time of it right now, though. We are fast approaching the halfway mark here for round number 11 of the Circle B Diecast Superspeedway Series, the iRacing E Superspeedway Series, I should say. As we are watching the lead group here, led by Las Vegas, Nevada's own Joe Gautier. In that AMP Energy number 67. But he's got company as Ryan Worley now takes over the lead in that Color Generators 00. Getting pushed by Connor Trafari. Canton, North Carolina is where he calls home. Worley, Trafari, Adams, DeBoer, Chu, Gautier, Worrell, Posey, McFadden, and Malagani rounding out your top 10, but throw a blanket over your top 8. There's a 14.5-second gap from Shane Posey in the 83. There he is. Back to Mark McFadden in the 48. There he is. And he's running all by his lonesome right now. The good news is he's got a group that's starting to catch him, being led by the 22 of Malagani. Decker in there as well. And the 91 of Tim Henderson. Back up at the lead, Trafari on the low side, going to get a shot from Chris Worrell to get him back up to speed. That's Gautier and Posey on the top side. Looks like Worley is going to try to go with them as he swings up. Still an 8-car breakaway here. All 4 position, all on the lead lap. 38 laps in the books. We are just past the halfway mark. A little bit of a breakaway starting to form up here. Trafari and Worley A little bit of a gap on Marcus Adams. Adams just riding right now, trying to get some clean air to the radiator, making sure he doesn't overheat that Ford engine, as they're notorious for doing that. Trafari, Worrell, Adams, DeBoer, Chu, Worley, Posey, and Gautier in this lead pack. 9th place, Richard Malagani sits 14.5 seconds rear. And he does have Ryan Decker with him. Good push down the back straightaway, 191, 192, 193, 4, almost 195 miles an hour before they have to climb on the binders to make turn 3. That's impressive. That's scary impressive. Because the one thing we know is you cannot get these cars loose. If you do get them loose, you're going to back it into the wall. And every driver in the real world who has backed one of these things into the wall has stated that it's one of the hardest hits they've ever taken, just by how solid this car currently is. Now, NASCAR has made statements that they are going to change the car over the winter and put a crumple zone in the back. And now we're probably going to have to start worrying about fires. Kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. Getting ready to put 42 in the books here at Talladega. As we're still quite a bit of ways from our final pit stop, we are going to step away, pay a couple more bills, and we'll be back right after this.
What's up, guys? Roger Debo, front tire changer for the 45 Alpha Prime car. You're watching Sim Racing Media.
And we are back at Talladega, working lap 54 of 75 here tonight. Fast approaching the 20 to go mark. Shane Posey, your pole sitter, currently shows the way. Kyle Trafari glued to his back bumper. Your biggest mover tonight is the 00 Ryan Worley. There you see him fourth in line on the low side. Currently sits plus 10. Kyle Trafari sits plus 9. Then you got Richard Malagani way back there. Has fallen off this lead group by about 4 seconds. So we'll throw a blanket over your top 8. They continue to run 2 lines here. Posey and Trafari glued to that low side. Defending series champion Marcus Adams sits in third right now. The rest of his Valsgarana teammates are up on that top shelf trying to work with Joe Gautier in the AMP Energy number 67. To go here at Talladega, round number 11 of the iRacing East Superspeedway Series. Thank you so much for making this part of your Friday evening. And again, if you haven't done so already, please give this video a thumbs up because it really does help the channel share these videos around the YouTube algorithm. The more thumbs up a video gets, the more likely it is to show up and your favorite racer will appear on someone's news feed when they log into their YouTube. And if you haven't done so already, because we notice over half of the people that watch these races aren't subscribed, and you don't want to miss a single moment of action this week as we go to round number 2 of the ISNF Cup Series. Round of 16, race 2. The World 600 at Charlotte. Yes, you heard me right. The World 600 at Charlotte. It'll be a 3 p.m. Eastern Time start on that one. Sunday Night NASCAR has wrapped up for the season. But Monday night we've got a triple header for you with the SCL International Cup Series. As they go to North Wilkesboro. The Elite Entertainment ARCA Series presented by Extreme Scoring. That will be at 7. Their round number 7 at Charlotte. That'll be an 8:40 Eastern Time start. And then the 8:20 Eastern Time start of the CleanRacing.net Truck Series finale. That will be 8:20. So triple header coming up on Monday night. Some racing taking off for the Thanksgiving holiday. As we are 18, we're going to be 17 to go at the stripe here tonight from Talladega. And it's Malagani, Decker, and Tarnowski all bring it pit side for what should be a splash and go. Because I don't think anybody can make it from here. If they come down pit road now, they can. But anybody that came down on lap 33, 31 to 33 was the pit window last time, and you cannot make it from there. That's for sure. Gautier now shows the way on the low side. Shane Posey right behind him as we got some drivers peeling off to go pit side. Looks like Worley and Trafari. Everybody else staying out. This might be bad news for Gautier and Posey, as those are 4 balls out racing cars slated behind them. As they're going to come pit side this time, Adams and company going to stay out for at least one more lap. It's Tim Henderson, the lap car, getting up and out of the way, as you do. Adams, Chu, Worrell, and DeBoer all right there. 191 mile an hour, hauling it off into turn number 3. Currently on 15 laps to go. Those guys are going to bring it pit side this time. Everybody charging the line with a good head of steam. Ooh, that was a sketchy one for Brian Chu. We're going to keep an eye on that MBNA number 18. Somebody finally spits out the commitment cone. Chu got popped for an unsafe pit entry. The heartbreak. There's Adams down and away in the Diecast fans Ford Mustang. There goes Mark McFadden to get back on the lead lap. The heartbreak for Brian Chu and company. This could possibly get ugly. As there is Worley and Trafari already up to speed. Adams and DeBoer are still climbing. Relatively even speeds now. DeBoer's got to get up there and push on Adams, because you know Trafari's not afraid to push on Worley. Ryan Worley shows the way, 13 laps to go. He's got the Kohler 00 wound right up. Trafari glued to his back bumper. This is getting good. There's the 12 of Nick Wing on the top side. John LeBombard with him. Marcus Adams falls back to first car a lap down. Actually, he's racing for that honor with John LeBombard. Hopefully McFadden can latch on to the tail end of this group. 12 to go. We haven't seen the fireworks yet, folks. I'm going to take a quick look at what's coming up here for the iRacing sorry about that. See what's coming up for the iRacing. Ladies and gentlemen, terribly sorry about that. I just got into a coughing fit. Let's try this again here. Coming up for the iRacing Superspeedway Series, we're off next week. As down here in the States, we're celebrating Thanksgiving. But we will return on December 2nd with the Xfinity cars in a morning race here at Talladega. December 9th, we're showing trucks at Daytona. And then the first round of the playoffs, it'll be 75 laps at Daytona, but they're not telling us what car yet. I have a sneaking suspicion, though, that on the 16th of December, it might be Indy cars at Daytona, as they put on a hell of a show here at Dega earlier in the season. Actually, I take that back. That was Daytona earlier in the season in the Indy cars, so we might return to that one. And that, if you remember that finish, we were 4 wide at Daytona in the Indy cars. So I'm looking forward to that one. And then we are off for the we're off for both New Year's, Hanukkah, and Christmas. Kwanzaa, Yule, whatever you refer to it as, that weekend of the 23rd, we will be on hiatus, as well as the 30th, because everybody's going to be pre-gaming on that day. Once they get out of work, start pre-gaming. But we will return the 6th of January. So the first Friday in January, we will be back for the second race of the first round of the playoffs. Trucks at Talladega. So, still a lot of racing left. Still a lot of racing left in this one, as we are still 5 laps to go. That's the lap car of Nick Wing working with Shane Posey to get Posey to stay on the lead lap. But here comes Marcus Adams, your current race leader. He's being pushed by Ed DeBoer. They've got Ryan Worley and Connor Trifari with them. Comes Worley. Adams goes way up to the top. Worley now shows the way as he jumps up to pick up the rest of his Ford brethren on that top side, hanging the Chevy of Posey out to dry. Trifari trying to make it happen on the top side as well. Worley with a good head of steam. 3 laps to go here at Talladega. You can see just how fast these cats are running here. There's Worley, your race leader. Defending series champion Marcus Adams, lap car of Nick Wing. Connor Trifari sits in 3rd place, 4th in line. Ed DeBoer sits in 4th place, 5th car in line. So they bring it through the 3-4 complex one more time. Worley shows the way. 2 laps to go. Just a tick over 5 miles. Marcus Adams drops way down, picks up Trifari, then jumps back up. Trifari may have showed his hand just a little too soon. Unfortunately for Marcus Adams, he is the lone stranger up there. As Trifari is an independent tonight. Something just happened to Ryan Worley. He might be out of gas. Ed DeBoer coming to help Marcus Adams if he can. Nick Wing, a lap car. Shane Posey, a lap car. Adams gets up there and pushes on Trifari. We are racing back to checkers, by the way. White flag in the air as they haul it down to the super stretch back straightaway here at Talladega. Bumping and banging on Trifari is Adams. Trifari does not have enough starts to qualify for the playoffs. Just looking to play spoiler here. It's Adams pushing the daylights out of him. Might try to turn him. As they come off of turn number 4. Trifari's loose. Bangs into Adams. That hands the lead of the race over to Ed DeBoer. Nick Wing, the lap car in front of him. DeBoer is going to win here at Talladega. But we are going to go back and take a look at what happened here to Connor Trifari. We're going to back that up a little bit. You guys are going to see behind the curtain. I do apologize here. You kind of knew it was coming. With as much beating and banging as Marcus Adams was doing on Connor Trifari, he was going to try to get him loose. Did get him loose on the exit of 4. Trifari's trying to save it, goes down the track. Marcus Adams guesses wrong. Trifari shoots up through the grass and just barely misses Shane Posey. As a matter of fact, we are going to take a look at that one from Posey. This is what Shane saw as we had a GoPro on his helmet. There goes Trifari. Zoop! This Code Brown moment brought to you by the iRacing Superspeedway series. Well, your winner, driving the Unified number 24. We are going to reach out now to, as soon as I can find him. There he is. We are going to reach out now to the driver of the Unified number 24 Ford Mustang. Ed DeBoer, you just punched your ticket into the playoffs. Congratulations.
Thank you. That was a fun race. Just running my strategy there, hoping what happened would happen.
Well, you guessed right, and everybody else seemed to have guessed wrong there, coming to the checkered flag, coming off of 4. I mean, you could see that one coming, right?
Oh, heavens, yeah. Yeah, you could definitely see that coming. I could see those two getting a little aggressive up there, so I just wanted to lay back a little bit, let whatever was going to happen play out. You know, I knew I was going to at least bring home a third, so I was going to have a podium finish, but when those two got a little rough, it played right into my hand.
It absolutely did, and you made the move of the race to stay out of the melee. I was just showing the onboard with Shane Posey, and he had a definite Code Brown moment as Trifari came spinning up the track out of the grass. But Ed, we're taking next week off, but we're coming back here in the Xfinity car in 2 weeks. What are your thoughts going into that race?
I'm looking forward to that. I like that Xfinity car here. It's a fun car to run here. Talladega's been playing well to me this year, and coming back here in the Xfinity, I'm looking forward to it. Always enjoy racing with all the guys here on Friday nights, and just glad to finally get that win.
Well, the pride of Cadillac, Michigan, and now I don't feel like the old fart anymore, as I notice you've got a couple of years on me here. What's it like for
Yeah.
a 49-year-old to be slugging it out with some teenagers?
Just it's fun. It gives me something to do. You know, can't get out there and race in a real car this time of year up here in Michigan because we've got
True story.
I mean, geez, Pete, we've got like 18 inches of snow here, and further up north they got 2-3 feet of snow. So
Hey, I'm in a similar boat here in central New York.
yeah, definitely.
They just closed down our throughway because of it. But Ed, we're going to let you celebrate with your team and go have a snowball fight with your kids. Who do you need to thank before we turn you loose?
Circle B Diecast, Rowdy Energy, iRacing, iFlag, Butt Kicker, Midwest Motor Customs, and most definitely my sponsor, Unified Athletic Wear, Nathan and Titan down there, and then also my wife and kids, and Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Ed DeBoer, congratulations on the win. We'll see you in 2 weeks back here at Dega.
Right. Take care. Have a great night. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Absolutely. Happy Thanksgiving is right. And we're joined now with the man who lucked into second place, Bluffton, South Carolina's own Connor Trafari. Connor, what a wild finish.
Yeah, no kidding. That was a wild finish.
Talk us through what happened off of turn number 4, because we kind of saw something starting to brew going into 3.
Yeah, so I think what happened was me and Marcus was really pushing me through turn 3 and 4, and the car got a little bit swirly around mid turn 4, and I was kind of keeping a hang on it until I think one push just sent me a little bit over the edge, and I just was trying to save it. I almost did, but I think I just pancaked Marcus, I don't know, after a few saves. And it kind of hurt both of us, so then Edwin just kind of squeezed through.
Well, you pulled off the victory, Connor. Again, congratulations on second place. We've got next week's off for the Thanksgiving break, but we come back to Xfinity here at Talladega. What are your thoughts coming into that race in 2 weeks?
A lot of pack racing, definitely. Probably a lot of a different race than this one, where you kind of had to go with that momentum. Xfinity just kind of hold them inside for the most part. I don't know. That should be a fun little combination.
All right, Connor. Who do you need to thank before we turn you loose?
I just want to give a shout out to my sponsor, Lot 9 Brewing, here in Bluffton, South Carolina. My teammate Zishan, who returned after a while. That was a fun race with him. Broadcast, you for putting on, all the admins, Frank for being the in-race official, and Jason Papp for hosting the league.
All right, Connor Trafari, congratulations on a podium. We will see you in 2 weeks in the Xfinity car.
All right.
And rounding out our podium finishers from Canton, North Carolina, Ryan Worley, congratulations on a podium, and that was a wild finish, my friend.
Yeah, I was surprised to still end up on the podium. I thought for sure I was could be getting P4, but I was happy with it either way. It was a good race there at the end.
It absolutely looked like a fun race. You, fortunately, were able to not get that gremlin that was hitting a couple of drivers tonight, getting popped for an unsafe pit entry. I believe about 4 or 5 guys got popped for that at least once tonight, and ended up they were laps down because of it. But, you kept your car relatively clean all night, Ryan. And how difficult can that be with 3-digit track temperatures?
Yeah, I mean, the cars are definitely all over the place. They didn't want to stay put very well on the track, especially if you got behind someone. And once you got inside the bubble, it really it would go. And a little bit of that goes down to your tires, what you were doing there. But, yeah, I think it was just a little bit of, how comfortable you are with the car. I haven't driven this car in a year now until this race, so I wasn't very comfortable. I was being very careful on pit entrance, and that seemed to keep me from ending up in trouble. I don't know how it was working so well where I came back out, but it for some reason was. So I guess don't have to push as hard as I thought it did in the past.
Well, you made it happen with a podium finish here tonight and a couple of laps led. So that's going to definitely improve your standing here. You might put you in position if you make the next 2 races to qualify you for the playoffs, I believe. Well, we'll have to check the point standings on that next week.
I hadn't even been looking at the points. I just kind of came in, run a few races for fun. I've been gone most of the year, and I'll be gone starting December, so I couldn't make it run at the playoffs anyways. But yeah, I just kind of here having some fun with it.
Well, Ryan, we're taking next week off for Thanksgiving, but we'll be back in 2 weeks in the Xfinity car back here at Dega for a morning race, morning in the sim anyways. What are your thoughts going into that race?
I'm much more excited for that. The Xfinity cars are just they're a better race car than these for the Superspeedway. So I'll be excited to race something that actually allows us to be competitive. I mean, they still have their own quirks. They get a little loose. I mean, I think it was 2 weeks ago I was in front of Greg and just bad push, and you see how easily you can bad push those. So they have their quirks, but they're definitely better in the Cup cars, and I think it should be a pretty solid race for us.
All right, who do you need to thank before we turn you loose, sir?
Yeah, I just want to thank, well, first of all, thank you guys for broadcasting us. I want to thank all the guys who are out here racing tonight. We had a really good, clean race. I didn't see anything really nasty, so it was nice just to have some good, clean, fun racing. And just thank my teammates there for helping me out when they could. I know at the end there, Nick was a lap down, but he was still there really to help me. So it was great to have some friends out on the track tonight.
All right, Ryan Worley, again, congratulations on a podium finish. We'll see you back here in 2 weeks.
Sounds good. See you then.
And joining me now, the man who was over in race control all race long, Mr. Frank Marchese. And Frank, all things considered, I think we saw a pretty solid race tonight.
Yeah, I would say so. It was a lot of close racing, a lot of green flag racing, and couldn't have asked for much better going into the Thanksgiving break.
Absolutely. And I don't know what the heck we're all going to do for the Thanksgiving break. I know we might have to talk to our Thursday league, because I just realized they're not taking that day off.
It's not Thanksgiving over there.
I understand this, but they're not taking that day off. So that's going to be a sticky wicket, as so to speak. But take a quick look at our finishing order here tonight. Ed DeBoer coming home with the victory. Ryan Worley. And that is not right. Connor Trafari, Ryan Worley is how I've got it. Thank you, timing and scoring. You suck. Richard Mulligani finishing in 4th. Everything is kind of weird here, as they've got Connor Trafari not finishing at all. Possibly a black flag condition there. But Richard Mulligani, Joe Gautier, Marcus Adams, Ryan Decker, Chris Worrell, Mark McFadden, Shane Posey rounding out your top 10. Then we've got John LeBombard in 11th, Nick Wing in 12th, Brian Chu 13th, 14th goes to Tim Henderson, Brian Tarnowski in 15th, Zishan Dura and come on, work with me here. And my live timing and scoring sucks. Let's try this again. Zishan Dura and Scott Warren rounding out your field. So that is going to do it for us tonight. Be sure to join us Sunday at 3:30 Eastern Time, as Jason Sofford and I are going to be in the booth for the call of the World 600 as part of the ISNF Sunday Night Fever Cup Series, race number 2 of the round of 16. For Mr. Frank Marchese, this is Tony Trapasso reminding you, ladies and gentlemen, that until we meet again and as you walk down the road of life, please don't play in traffic. Good night, everybody, and happy Thanksgiving.